Aid the Silent comes from my personal story of being a deaf person and the challenges of that, and seeing how resources have changed my life. And when I was 14 years old, I met Jesus, and that changed my life to where I saw that my deafness had purpose and it was going to be used to help people. And through Aid the Silent, we help provide resources for disadvantaged children and teens who are deaf and hard of hearing, and that means providing hearing aids, FM systems, summer camp, captioning at events for children, walk alongside them in speech therapy or ASL lessons with their families. So these resources truly change their lives. But these are practical needs, but they do not meet every single need that they have. There's a much deeper need, and that's their spiritual need. I work with teenagers who are deaf, and a lot of times they have no exposure to the gospel in any form. And there are only 300 people in the entire world working in ministry for the deaf full time, yet the deaf are the third largest unreached. And part of my story is going to summer camp, and I know it's really transformative, and this is for them to be exposed to the gospel for the first time in their language and their turf, and so that they can understand how the gospel message relates to them. We're stepping into the lives of people who desperately need someone to come in and say that there is more life for you, and here's a relational connection with them, and just to see that this is a part of sharing the gospel with the deaf. Of Aid the Silent is the purpose is to really bridge together two worlds that are seemingly divided because of the silence between them, and it's bridging the hearing world with the deaf world. So everything that we do is bringing together in community and in unity.
Aid the Silent has had a huge impact on our office here at the Ear Institute, and I found that to be really beautiful, that it didn't matter what type of hearing loss or what you had decided, that they embraced everybody, and that's what really got us to wanting to be a bigger part of Aid the Silent.
One of our main goals at the Ear Institute of Texas is to care for patients who are deaf and hard of hearing. So we deal with patients with this issue every day, and we give the patients the options, whether it be treating with hearing aids, treating with cochlear implants, or other avenues for their hearing loss. And we get great satisfaction in seeing these patients benefit from the treatment we provide.
We have deaf awareness, there's deaf research, deaf education, deaf resources, and deaf ministry. And kind of one of the big goals is not only to provide through these programs for these students and these resources, but also to teach local businesses and corporations how to throw deaf accessible events.
We have this gap between the hearing and the deaf community, and I really see Emma's role as the bridge between that gap. And really, she has helped to lead our team here from EIT across that bridge.
I believe in the mission of Aid the Silent. I believe that we have mutual goals in our desire to make sure that the deaf and hard of hearing community receives the benefits they need for treating their hearing loss, helping patients who are deaf and hard of hearing. We support Aid the Silent as a practice in many ways. So we have been privileged to be able to be a sponsor for the 5K runs that they have done, and helped provide staffing for that as well. So we've been privileged to be able to help Aid the Silent advance their goals.
A lot of deaf people experience isolation and depression, and that was a part of my story with profound hearing loss. I very much felt alone, and I thought if someone could just invite me. But when I was older, I started to see, I'm not waiting for someone to invite me. I'm going to be the one to invite people. My deafness was going to be used to help people. That in the silence and in this loneliness, that greatness was waiting for me, and I didn't know. I started reading a lot of statistics around the time I was 16 years old, and I remember thinking, I am supposed to start a nonprofit to help deaf people. I owned the domain name and was given this platform of influence through Miss San Antonio, and that is really what got it started.
Aid the Silent offers sign language classes. They offer speech lessons. They offer camps, and they'll send an interpreter with you. They do offer hearing aids to those who want hearing aids. I think they've unified us as co-workers to have a common goal, to understand the patients that we treat.
When we started doing ASL lessons, that was the purpose for offering to families, that you can have this common place of language and relationship, really trying to harvest that forward. We help provide summer camp scholarships, because that's a very big part of my story. Seeing that summer camp is pretty transformative for a deaf and hard of hearing child, just being exposed to life outside of their own home and experience, seeing that they really can belong, that there's more.
Aid the Silent has helped my family by being a family to us, by showing that they care. Aid the Silent has helped our family with sign language. It's teaching us sign language for my daughter, Spirit, and which is helping my youngest daughter, Faith, sign language as well, which is ultimately helping them with their communication. And it's also helping with their comprehension, which is something that we struggled with for my oldest daughter, Spirit, is her comprehension, which is helping with her grades and her growth. So when I put in the application, they emailed me right back, and they continue to email me. It helped me along my journey with my daughters and getting me closer, with a closer relationship with them.
We also provide classroom equipment and assistive hearing technology. So that's FM systems, and basically it connects to their hearing aids or equipment, and it brings the sound like a teacher or maybe a public event. It's bringing it all closer into their hearing aids. The other things that we're able to provide, it meets a very practical need. We're able to do school programs to allow deaf and hard of hearing children and teens to enjoy things like going to the play, on field trips, having accessibility. And so with these programs, it's able to provide interpreters on their trips or interactive music. So creating ways for them to see visually what's happening with the music, or even the vibrating backpacks that sync with the music to help you feel the vibrations of the concert, maybe at the Performing Arts Hall. We always want people to know they're invited to helping in any way. There are 3 ways: treasure, talent, and your time. The time is volunteering, signing up for deaf accessible events. It's working behind the scenes. It is just giving up time. It's a sacrifice of your time. With talents, whether you play music or you're able to make things that we would be able to pass on, anything like that. Anything that you have a talent, it can be meshed up in some way. So it really is just incredible investment early on. Technology for hearing loss is in the thousands. And to be able to do this and reach as many kids as we can, we always need financial support and people just jumping on board to really make a difference. My vision is any division between the deaf community within itself would be completely unified through this space that we're going to create called Deaf Life, and that the message of Jesus is what's going to knit all these different groups together. So a big thing about Deaf Life would be bringing teenagers to camp. And these are beautiful summer camps. They're all over the United States. You have them in Colorado, Georgia, the Carolinas, even up in Canada. And these camps might look a little different than the typical mainstream hearing camp, but it would be with hearing kids, which would be really cool because there is division among the hearing world and the deaf world. It's hard to mesh them. There's different languages involved, there's different cultures involved. But I think to bring amazing deaf kids to the same camp would be to see such a beautiful unity that happens underneath Jesus, that he unifies different groups of people together. And so these camps would have interpreters, and we would T-call that area to where it would go directly into hearing equipment as needed, and it would be captioned. And so the deaf students would totally be able to go on that week and to have the same opportunities to go to a Young Life camp as any other kid would have. There's so many different parts to make this big dream come together. And so it's really just inviting you guys in on it. That's what tonight is. And I truly believe that this is something that requires people to be all in. And so in this moment, I'm asking you to be all in. And being loved means giving away time and resources. And one thing that I've continually come back to in prayer is, let my heart be broken by the things that break the heart of God. And the fact that Jesus, which is the best news ever, the thing that rescues us and truly makes us be known, the fact that that's not being heard among 98% of the deaf, and that it's not being taught, that they're the third largest unreached group of people in the world with the gospel, that's absolutely heartbreaking. And that's something that should completely move us and compel us to be able to make a difference. That this is a group that tends to get ignored. I have known what it's like to be ignored and to be pushed off to the side. And this is the moment when that's not gonna happen anymore. That there has to be a change and a difference. And so here is where I'm asking you to please help, whether that's through your time or whether that's through helping financially, that this is the turning point. To be able to make the deaf community feel known and loved. I want to say thank you for being here and giving up your evening and for walking this adventure and journey with us called Aid the Silent. Thank you for being a voice for people who may be unheard. And thank you for loving, even though you may not ever see the people that you're helping. Know that it's helping and that you're truly making a difference. And I thank you that you are truly giving up yourself and your time and your resources. And I just want you to know that I love you guys and that you'll always be a part of my life.